Aloha kako guys, and welcome back to Just&True. I'm going to do a really quick update about this Karachi coronavirus, the Kung Flu, the Woohoo, whatever you're calling it. I like the Kung Flu. Well, I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's happening in my neck of the woods. Well, we do know at this point that we have 4 confirmed cases in my town, which is Kihei, and then there are 2 confirmed cases on the other side of the island in Lahaina. We did have a visitor here from China with another person, and they went from Maui to Oahu, and they traveled around for a week. So they'll see a bunch more cases popping up here. In fact, I know a lot of people that are out home from work and school who have the flu right now. I'm hoping that it's just a mix of the flu season, but the big danger right now is that this is actually happening not only the peak of the Chinese New Year, but the peak of the flu season, which is really causing a strain on the healthcare system. And when you're trying to diagnose the flu itself, or when you're trying to diagnose the coronavirus, Karachi virus. So it does make me a little tense to know it's here, but I'm aware of it and I am prepared. You know, I do have my food, I have my water, I have my silver, I have my ammunition, and I have tons of masks, and I have masks for my friends and family as well. So there's nothing that I need to worry about. But I am definitely worried about the communities themselves, to see how unaware and detached they are to the information, and to see how nonchalant they are about the way things are happening and unfolding and the speed that they're happening. The other thing is, a couple of days ago, maybe last week, I made a video about how I felt it was mostly for an economic reset, and where I'm not changing my standpoint on that. I definitely do believe it is an economic there's an economic side of things, but I do believe that's a small point of the picture. I don't think that it's just for population control. I don't think it's just for economic control or economic reset. I don't think it's just for taking away personal liberties and for pushing mandatory vaccines and for creating a tighter globalization law. I think it's for all of these reasons. It's very clear to the people who have been researching this for decades beyond my time. I'm only 30 years old. There's people that have been truthers out there for 60, they're 60 or 70 years now, so for 40 or 30 years. My generation, has kind of had to catch up, applying a bunch of reading on the last 30 or 40 years. But truly looking back as this event unfolds and looking at the facts of the event themselves, I do truly believe that it was, and it's very obvious to most people, the long-term game plan for not only population control, but to bring in Agenda 2021, Agenda 2030, and all of their, the Georgia Guidestones, the population control, but also the economic reset, to create a one world dollar, to get rid of cash, to implement a cashless system, to implement mandatory vaccines, to take away personal liberties, and to control them, but to get rid of nations and borders, and to control the world and the New World Order. I think that this is definitely the long-term goal. It's not a secret, it's not a conspiracy. These are things that are very well documented. These are things that are very well known to almost everybody who is anybody out there. So I do think that this is a very serious issue. Who knows how long it'll last. Let's hope that they screw it up and it's not as powerful as a virus is. We think it is right now, but it definitely looks, as of right now, that it is a pretty big thing. I have been reading a lot of people out there who've been saying that this isn't real, that this is propaganda, that this is just a fake event. If this was a fake event, I don't think we would see the reaction we are seeing now from the nations and health organizations. If it was a fake event and they were trying to push it as propaganda, I think it would be a little bit more widespread. There's not a lot of coverage on it right now. It's not really on the mainstream news as much as it should be. Just because it's being brought up once or twice here or there, it's because they have to. They can't completely avoid it. They wouldn't be putting out gag orders. There are gag orders on nurses and doctors all around the world. There's information being leaked from the military now that they're not supposed to be talking about it, and that just goes against the complete propaganda and psyops way it's supposed to be out there, it's supposed to be exposed. So I don't believe that this is a hoax. I hope I'm wrong, to tell you the truth, and I'd be the first one to admit it, but I don't think that's the case. I do know that in my town there are cases. I do know that there were so there. I mean, in Maui, it's a small town. If something happens, there's pictures everywhere on Facebook. There's all kinds of like social media. People talk about it when you get to work and get to school. But it was crazy. They quarantined this guy's house. The cops were out front. There's about 6 cops out front. And Kihei, that's normal. But you know, they had the fire hazmat squad outside, and they had unmarked vehicles. They did have biosuits. There's 2 dudes in biosuits, so it was pretty crazy. So I do not think this is fake, but I do want to just put this out there to start your preps or continue your preps. Even if this thing blows over, it's a good thing just to have. This is a good exercise. If it wasn't, or if it isn't something real, but I do believe it is, hydrogen peroxide actually helps a bunch. So if you gargle that, wash your ears with it, wash your hands on it, even use it on the countertops, that would be perfectly fine. Go out there and get your bleach, get your water, get your cleaners. Other than that, I do pray for you guys' safety, and mahalo nui loa.